Okay, now we switch on towards lecture number 4, 9.5 in NCERT topic 9.5 hydrides. So this dihydrogen undergoes or say under certain reaction conditions combines with almost all elements except noble gases to form binary compounds called hydrides. If E is the symbol of any element and hydride can be expressed as EHX, MgH2. Remember this hydride. Magnesium hydride, then B2H6, this is borohydride. Okay, this is also called diborane. Remember the name also, diborane. That one later on you have to learn in S block elements. And the hydride are classified into three categories. First is ionic or saline or salt-like hydride. So we discuss on these two particular first. Second is covalent or molecular hydrides, and third is metallic or non-stoichiometric hydride. So first we learn about ionic or saline or salt hydride. So this hydride, first of all remember ionic or saline hydride or salt-like hydride. So these hydride stoichiometric compounds dihydrogen forms with most of the S block elements, which are highly electropositive. Remember, S block element is highly electropositive, and that's why this hydrogen reacts with it, and it loses electron from the we can say that sodium and gaining electron from hydrogen, so it produces hydride. According to that, however, significant covalent character is found in the lighter metal hydrides such as lithium hydride, beryllium hydride, and magnesium hydride. In fact, beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride are polymeric in structure. Remember, beryllium hydride and magnesium hydride, two hydrides are MgH2. They are polymeric. Just you see, polymeric structure. We can say that it is a polymeric in a structure. Polymeric in a structure. Okay, so remember this. The ionic hydride are crystalline. The ionic hydride are crystalline, non-volatile and non-conducting in solid state. However, their melts conduct electricity and on electrolysis liberate dihydrogen gas and anode, which confirms existence of H- ion. So here you have to remember 2H minus, its melt, and reaction condition is that in presence of, we can say that here anode, okay, anode because oxidation is occur, H2 gas plus 2 electron, H2 gas plus 2 electron. So this is very easy, H minus 1, so minus 1 is there, here 0 is there. If you balance just like half reaction method, then here electron is lost. That's why oxidation reaction is occur, and oxidation reaction always occur on an anode. Remember this one, AO and KNE. Anode oxidation, cathode reduction. That's it. Saline hydride reacts violently with water, producing dihydrogen gas. That means NaH, you write down this reaction, solid plus H2O aqueous, it gives NaOH aqueous plus H2 gas. And this releases dihydrogen gas. When sodium hydride is reacts with water molecule, it releases dihydrogen gas and produces sodium hydroxide. Lithium hydride is lithium hydride. Remember, lithium hydride is rather unreactive, moderate temperature with O2 or Cl2, and it is therefore used in the synthesis of other hydrides. So write down this reaction. This reaction asked many times. 8LiH plus Al2Cl6. Complete the reaction. That's why this question is asked. you have to remember this reaction. Therefore 2 here LiLH4 lithium aluminium hydride plus 6 LiCl. Remember here 6 atom of Cl is 6. So write down here 6 Li. So 6 LiCl is over, and therefore here you can say that how many Li is left? 2. So 2 Li, 2 Al, and then H is remaining 4. And therefore you have to write 2 LiAlH4 plus 6 LiCl. 4 to 8 is that. That's why hydrogen is 8. Same way 2 LiH. Complete the reaction. This question asked in this way, or you have to write note on ionic or saline hydride. So here lithium borohydride LiBH4 twice. This is a very easy. 2 Li, then here 2B is there, 2 Li, 2B, and H2 plus 6, 8. So 4 to 8. So this is known as lithium aluminium hydride, and this is known as lithium borohydride. Okay, so write down these two, and this is a very important in as a reducing agent in a organic chemistry. You have to learn in a standard 12. So this is very important, reducing agent to provide dihydrogen or say H. Okay, so this is all about ionic or saline hydrides. You write from your textbook. Sentence is not written at here. You have to complete the sentence from your NCERT textbook. So we switch on towards next, that is covalent or molecular hydrides. So make a note of this. Okay, now electron deficient hydride. Covalent or molecular hydride, they are classified in terms of 3 ways. One is electron deficient, another is electron precise, and third is electron enriched. But what is meaning of covalent or molecular hydride? Just you understood from this point. Dihydrogen forms molecular compounds with most of the p block element. Remember, most familiar example are CH4. Examples very important: CH4, NH3, H2O. Okay, so these examples are there. NHF. Okay, these examples are important. For convenience, hydrogen compounds of non-metals have also been considered as hydrides. Being covalent, they are volatile compounds. Molecular hydrides are further classified in 3 ways. That electron deficient, one is electron precise, and third is electron enriched. That means what you have to learn this in particular chemical bonding chapter. So you heard this, you understand from this point of view. So here, first is that electron. Suppose we consider this electron deficient, then electron deficient hydride, as the name suggests, has too few electrons for writing conveniently Lewis structure, diborane. So example is B2H6, and structure is just like this way, that you have to learn later on. But remember, this is structure of diborane, B2H6. Okay, so here electron deficient is there because one electron is remaining. Is an example. In fact, all elements of group 13 will form electron deficient compounds. What aspects their behavior? Lewis acids. They are Lewis acids. They are Lewis acids. Okay, so remember by this way, B2H6 is there. So it is an electron deficient. Another is electron precise. That means there is no any electron lost or gain. It is a complete. So here electron precise compounds have required number of electrons to write in a conventional method. That is CH4. Suppose we write CH4. So carbon, here hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. So here carbon sharing electron with hydrogen. So carbon and hydrogen sharing here 2 electrons. So octet is complete, and that's why it is considered as electron precise. So remember this CH4, which are tetrahedral in a geometry. Tetrahedral in a geometry. Okay. Now electron enriched is very important. Electron enriched means what? They are Lewis base. Remember, they are Lewis base. So these have excess electron which are present as a lone pairs element of group 15 to 17 from such compounds. NH3, just you see. Suppose I write here NH3. So on nitrogen I put this 2 dot and that is the thing called electron enrich. इलेक्ट्रॉन ज्यादा है इसके पास, इसको क्या कहेंगे इलेक्ट्रॉन एनरिच, और इसको इस तरीके से भी लिखा जाता है, and that's why they considered as Lewis base. Okay, H2 is also there. H2 is one example. H2 water molecule is there. So oxygen, here hydrogen, here hydrogen, here 2 dot to complete octet. So this is a extra electron. So electron enriched. This is electron precise. There is no any electron left, and here it is electron deficient. That means they require electron. So Lewis acids are there. This is a tetrahedral structure, and here Lewis base. So this is all about, we can say that, covalent or molecular hydrides. Once again, these covalent or molecular hydrides are classified in terms of, we can say that this hydride is there. They are produced in terms of, we can say that, particularly nitrogen containing compound, that is a oxygen also there, fluorine is also there. So which groups are there? So carbon is there, nitrogen is there, here oxygen is there, and fluorine is there. That group containing hydride, and that's why they are classified in 3 ways. First is electron deficient, second is electron precise, and third is electron enriched. Example is very important. This is electron deficient. That means what? This hydrogen reacts with particular element by one, we can say that one electron per shortage. So here deficient is there, electron less is there. That's why his example is B2H6. Just you see. Here, whatever the electron deficient compound is present, suppose we consider BH3, then this is electron deficient, remember. Okay, so this BH3 is a dimerized form of B2H6, and there's nothing to do with acid. Electron precise CH4, example is there. There is no electron loss, so it is not, we can say, deficient or enriched. They are completely covalent. Okay, and that's why it is considered as tetrahedral. And this CH4, they are covalent molecule, and here NH3 electron enriched is there. They are Lewis base, just like NH3, H2O, HF is also there. Hydrogen fluoride is also there. So this is our example and of a particular, we can say that, electron enriched containing compound. Now we switch on towards metallic or non-stoichiometric or interstitial hydride. So this topic is important. Make a screenshot of this and write it from the textbook. It's important. Write in not on covalent or molecular hydrides. You have to write in a sentence also. So write it completely. Okay, now 9.5.3 metallic or non-stoichiometric or interstitial hydride. This is a very important hydride you have to learn later on in standard 12. D block or F block elements contain this type of hydride because smaller size of this particular, we can say that, elements. Group 7, 8 and 9 do not form this hydride. Form group 6, that is form group 6, chromium forms chromium hydride. These hydride conduct heat and electricity, though not as efficiently as their parent metals do, and that's why we can say that it is a chromium hydride is used. Non-stoichiometric being deficient in hydrogen, that is AH2.7, YBH2.35. Just you see, it's a stoichiometric is not number, is not whole number, but it's in a point fraction. YBH2.35, TiH1.5 to 1.8, zirconium H1.3 to 7.5, VH0.56, etc. This is the example, and another example is also there. Palladium H also there, H0.5 to 0.8. In such hydride, the law of constant composition does not hold. Remember, law of constant composition does not hold good. does not hold. Remember this one, this is important. Earlier it was thought that in this hydride, hydrogen occupies interstices in the metal lattice, producing distortion without any change in its type. Consequently, they were termed as interstitial hydride. Remember, because what happens, suppose we consider this one, and from this void is there, and from that void this whatever the small elements or small atoms are here just take part, and that's why we can say that this is an interstitial compound. So this is the thing, but void, and in that void certain small size containing elements enter. So this is regarding interstitial. Okay, so this is regarding interstitial. It is consequently they were termed as interstitial hydride. However, recently studied has shown that except for hydride of lithium, we can say that nickel, palladium, cerium and actinium, other hydrides of this class have lattice different from that of the parent metal. The property of absorption of hydrogen on transition metals is widely used in catalytic reduction or hydrogenation reactions for the preparation of larger number of compounds. Some of the metals, palladium and platinum, can accommodate a very large volume of hydrogen and therefore can be used as its storage media. This property has a high potential for hydrogen storage and as a source of energy. So this is important, just you remember this one. And another is hydrogen storage and as a source of energy. Underline on this, so it becomes very easy topic for metallic or non-metallic, or say no stoichiometric, or interstitial hydride. Remember this one. This is called interstitial. They are entered. So which one contains small size? Na plus contains small size as some hydrogen. So here take part, and due to that we can say that this type of interstitial hydride is produced. So here those contain atomic size or say ionic size more, and that they produce void, and between that void this hydrogen is entered. Okay, so this whatever the lower ionic size is there, they are entered, and according to that metallic or non-stoichiometric or these hydrides is now complete. So here you have to remember three ways they are classified. First is electron deficient, second is electron precise, and third is electron enriched hydride according to covalent or molecular hydrides, metallic or non-stoichiometric hydrides, and ionic or saline hydrides. So make a screenshot of this. Okay, now here one question regarding problem 9.2. Would you expect the hydride of nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine to have lower boiling point than the hydride of the subsequent group members? Give reasons. So here the reason is that particularly on the basis of molecular masses of ammonia, water and hydrogen fluoride, the boiling points are expected to be lower than those of subsequent group member hydrides. However, due to higher electronegativity, remember higher electronegativity is there. So higher electronegativity of nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine, the magnitude of hydrogen bonding in their hydrides will be quite appreciable. Remember, when boiling point is higher, at that time we can say that intermolecular force is more and intermolecular distance is decreases, and due to that they form hydrogen bonding stronger, so it's required to break more energy, and that's why the boiling point is more. Remember this one. So it is according to that way. So hydrogen will quite appreciable, hence the boiling points of NH3, H2O and HF will be higher than the hydride of their subsequent group of members. And another question, problem 9.3. Can phosphorus with outer electronic configuration 3s2 3p3 form PS3? Although just you have to learn in this standard 12, although phosphorus exhibit +3 and +5 oxidation states, it cannot form PS3. Okay, pH is nothing but phosphine. Besides same other consideration, high delta GH value of dihydrogen and delta Eg value of hydrogen do not favor to exhibit the highest oxidation state of phosphorus and consequently the formation of pH3. So this is you have to learn in standard 12 also. This is all about hydrides. So first of all, once again we revise these hydrides. First of all, definition of particular hydrides. Metal when reacts with dihydrogen, it gives, we can say that, hydride form, or say metallic oxide. Metallic oxide is also there. It reacts with dihydrogen, produce in terms of metals also. So ionic, and they are classified in three ways. First is ionic or saline hydrides. Second is covalent or molecular hydrides. And third is metallic or non-stoichiometric or interstitial hydrides. So these are very important. Smaller size enter in between. We can say that particular atom surrounded with particular this void is produced in between that particular ions is arranged, and that is nothing but interstitial or metallic or non-stoichiometric hydride, in which hydrogen proportion or say hydrogen stoichiometric is in fraction. Remember this one and these examples, which is important. Okay, so this is all about your topic regarding hydrides, which is important, and here you have to remember classification of hydrides and covalent or molecular hydrides in terms of electron deficient, electron precise and electron enriched hydride. So here this lecture number 4 is also here completed. Thank you. Make a screenshot.